So let's dive straight into this Fallout New Vegas modded in 2023 and how to make Fallout New Vegas next gen. I'm going to show you all of the graphical overhauls and all of the gameplay mods that I use, and this time I'm going to give it the attention that it deserves. I'm going to link all of the mods in the description. And yeah, I do love Fallout New Vegas, but it is a buggy, just janky mess when it comes to the technical side of things. So you need to install a script extender, you need to patch it before you start modding it. But I'm going to show you all of the best mods, and you're going to see just how amazing this can look in 2023 and all of the tweaks that I've added. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot to me. It just takes 2 seconds, just one tap of a button, and you will be transcended. Join the empire today and subscribe, and check out the music that I make on Spotify if you like interesting electronic music. And with all of that jazz, let's go.
It is super hot. Yeah. It's getting real hot around here. So hot, Wally. But you don't really know what hot is, do you? You ever been in a storm, Wally? I mean, a real storm? Not a thunderstorm, but a storm of fists raining down on your head, hitting you in the chest so hard you think your heart's gonna stop. You ever been in a storm like that, Wally?
You think there's some perv coming in here to watch me make?
AIDS! AIDS! I got AIDS! I got AIDS! We're coming through. There's two kind of AIDS.
Well, hello there, my cultured men and disciples. Like I said, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you do subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Join the empire today. If you like mod videos, if you like gaming reviews and philosophical content. Now, Fallout New Vegas is just the best goddamn game ever made. We're never going to be blessed with such a game that actually makes you think and question, that actually gives you a lot of player choice and agency. It's the best goddamn RPG ever, and it actually has a lot of philosophical elements to it. It actually makes you think. The gameplay is exciting, and there are so many different things you can do in Fallout New Vegas, like with the player choice. And it's just sad that we don't get that anymore in the gaming industry. So we have to keep it alive. We have to pay it respect, because we're never going to get it remastered. Let's be honest. Todd Howard just cares about making the quick bucks, and gaming is dead. So let's bring back this beautiful beast. So basically, you need to go to nexusmods.com. I'm sure you know this already. And basically, you need to find Fallout New Vegas. Bada bing, bada bo. Okay. And you basically install Vortex from Nexus Mods, and then you can start downloading mods after you've followed the steps to actually get it working. You need to install, well, I'll show you a few of them, but you need to install patches, you need to install ENBs and stuff like that if you want that, and you need to tweak it. You need to actually open up the menu of Fallout New Vegas and turn off anti-aliasing if you're using an ENB. Lots of stuff that you need to do to actually get it working in the first place, because most of the mods won't work without script extenders, without patching it. So let's just dive into the mods, shall we? Now, what I truly love about modding, I've kind of got back into it recently because I just wanted to make Fallout New Vegas the best possible modded game experience on the goddamn planet. So this is the definitive Fallout New Vegas modded guide in 2023, because I want to be the best, goddammit. I don't want to waste your time. I want to show you how this game can look amazing, how it can play amazing. So it took me several weeks to mod this. However, I do believe modding is almost an art form, because no two games modded will ever be the same. You can create whatever the hell you want. So I'm not going to go in order as to what I install them, because that's the good thing about Vortex, is it basically, you know, like when you used to have the mod in the olden days with just Nexus mod managers, basically you had to stack it in a correct order, otherwise you would get lots of conflicts. And yeah, you still do get that with this, but it basically orders it for you, which is nice, and it even installs the script extender for you, which is cool. So definitely download this and follow ESO's guide to actually getting Fallout New Vegas ready to be modded first, and then come back to this video. And yeah, so I'm just going to go down the list. So the first thing is Ultimate Companions. This is essential. Basically means you can have unlimited companions, which is nice because you can create, you know, your own little community or little cult, whatever you want. The next is enhancing the blood textures. Of course, that's very important. Realistic weapons damage. I would highly recommend this. It basically makes the game a lot more tactical. To overhaul the sky, you want to download Westing Sky. Yep. This is a companion mod, pretty moist, pretty cool. You want the weapon retexture project. Basically, it just overhauls what the games look like. It just overhauls what the guns look like in the game, which is pretty essential. If you want a nice night sky of, you know, stars and space and stuff like that, I highly recommend you get the high-res Night Sky Replacer Pack, version 3. That's one I use. Got the old-fashioned Pip-Boy, which is pretty cool. This one just adds new songs to the games. Now, into textures, I use the super large pack, and it's quite simple, really. All you need to do is double-click on it, see what actually it says, what folder it recommends. So this is textures, Fallout New Vegas folder, which is quite easy to find, especially if you have this installed. And you just do the same thing. You go data, you find textures, and then all you need to do is just copy all of this shit and just paste it into your Fallout New Vegas folder after you've set up, you know, all of the install process on how to mod the game. Like I said, I'll leave the video in the description. It's pretty easy to do. You just have to follow it exactly so there's no mistakes, and then the game will allow mods to be placed. And you can see here, you know, here are a lot of the mods installed. So I added the texture pack, and then on top of that texture pack, I added even more textures with Ojo Bueno texture pack, which basically you can kind of mix the two, and when you install mods on Vortex, it will come up with a pop-up saying, you know, in what order you want the mods to be placed. So if you want the NMC texture pack to, you know, be first, then you order that as first, and then you order this as it's either before or after, so then you order this as after, and you can actually choose what textures you want to change. So if you want sand textures, I've changed the standard floor texture to make it more of a desert feel and a high texture pack of high quality sand, because I'm a very sad individual. I just love Fallout New Vegas so much, and I just want to make it look as best as possible and to fit the lore. It's truly a great piece of fiction that you should respect. And yeah, so you can change the textures in whatever order you want. Next, I recommend Wasteland Flora Overhaul. Basically, just add some life into the desert. If you want that, you don't have to get it. Now, this is very important. Project Nevada. This adds so many gameplay features to Fallout New Vegas. So much stuff like HUD elements when you put on helmets, sprinting, hotkeys, survival elements like drinking and eating and how radiation affects you and all that kind of stuff. So this is basically going to overhaul the game, especially with the new weapon damage that I talked about before. Stalker weapon pack, because I love Stalker and you want to make it kind of hardcore. It's up to you. Here's some extra textures, just, you know, if you want to make something high res, you can add individual textures. I highly recommend monster mods. This adds a whole new bunch of creatures to for Wasteland. Some character overhauls, more texture packs, another texture pack. EVE, that's very essential, and basically this overhauls all of the laser weapons in the games and how laser weapons interact with NPCs. So now they will explode in like cool ways and new particle effects and stuff like that. It just makes it really moist. Those are the other texture packs I talked about. Now this one is important if you want to play as if you want to join the Legion This is such a great mod, and it overhauls the whole Legion and basically makes them more into the traditional Roman Empire. And I love the Roman Empire, so this is a must, especially if you're gonna play as the Legion. These are just some guns, a companion mod. This is one of the unofficial patches you'll need to install, and that will be on the ESO video. Well, 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 here we are, boys, in New Vegas. So here I'm just going to show you the night sky. As you can see, it's very moist. It's very highly detailed and very 4K. That's the night sky replacer. And then with that, I added the Western Sky Pack, which basically adds these really nice cloud effects. The moon is kind of a little bit bugged when it's behind a cloud, because they're not supposed to interact, but when the moon is not hiding behind the cloud, it looks amazing. But yeah, so you can tweak your ENBs by opening the settings and basically just tweaking them around. Jesus Christ, it's dropped to 15 FPS. That's my recording software for you. I highly recommend when you do get an ENB that you enable SSAO, because with an ENB you won't get any anti-aliasing, so it's very important that you do that, otherwise the game will have a lot of jaggies. But yeah, most ENBs are terrible, but this one is amazing and I highly recommend it. On the depth of field, which is super nice, and then you can look back up at the sky. That's pretty cool, and as you can see, it's very detailed, the skeleton, the texture behind it. That's because I'm using a ton of these textures that I showcased. Now the FPS will be terrible in this, because trying to record this and play it at the same time is not very wise, because my PC can't handle it. It's already kind of broken, so you'll have to excuse for FPS, but usually this runs at 60 FPS, no problems. I just have to hang it out of a window so it doesn't blow up. I'm not even joking, but yeah, it overheats. But yeah, it does work. And as you can see, the rock textures are all upscaled, the ground textures are upscaled a lot. I used the NMC texture pack, but then I added this sand effect, so when you get out into the dunes, you're going to see this kind of textured sand texture, but it will also blend with the NMC high texture pack, which is pretty moist. Goes back to the Roman Empire style, which is what the Legion were trying to emulate. And yeah, I just think it looks pretty cool. It's very detailed and high resolution. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And behind the Whammon, you can see the high texture pack in action. The metal textures just look absolutely amazing. They're super detailed. But I do find that some textures look almost too detailed, and it basically looks like a 2D, cutout of actual material that you would find in real life, which sometimes looks a bit jarring. I'll show you an example later, but most of the time it does look super nice, and it just adds a lot more. We can see some of the vegetation in action. Now here it's most noticeable because we're outside the overgrown vault, and here is the Pip-Boy in action. I just like this Pip-Boy, it's not attached to you. It's just like a little pocket device that you can pull out, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll just show off some of the texture packs for the weapons. So as you can see, they've added a lot of, more high resolution texture to the guns, so they actually have some kind of reflections to them, kind of like an RTX without RTX, which is nice. That is the Western Sky Pack in action. It looks absolutely amazing. Here is the texture overhaul for the sand. This is truly 16 times the detail that Todd Howard promised us that we never got, but you can get it back with Fallout New Vegas. Here's a good example of the weapon impact mod that I downloaded. So as you can see, it adds a ton of smoke effects. As you can see, it adds a lot of smoke effects and a lot more detailed impact to the, the place that you're actually shooting, which is pretty cool. And if you're using an ENB, which is super nice, New Vegas will just shine in the distance, and when you get to New Vegas, it just looks amazing. You can see the moon kind of peeking out now, which looks just amazing. The sky in all of its glory. You can see that even with the laser effect, it adds a lot more impact. Here we see a new enemy type that the mutant mods have added, which is pretty cool. And there you can see the staggering effect on companions, and there he goes, he's dead. And there we have an EVE effect, which is pretty cool. I'm sorry that the FPS is lagging so much. I didn't expect my recording software to not be able to take it whatsoever. You can see over there, it's a lot more particle effects when you shoot something with a laser weapon, and then it will just blow up into this beautiful kind of goopy mess. So as you can see, it actually adds like a 3D effect when you hit something. This mod configuration menu, and you can basically rebalance all of the mods and change how much radiation affects you and damage and all of that kind of stuff, which is pretty nice. There you can see the staggering effect in action, and a lot more realistic ragdolls, which is pretty cool, and some just random NPCs that are added into the game. Like I said, they just travel around. And here we are next to the strip of New Vegas. So some might say this is kind of pointless having this much, detail for, ground textures. But it does make everything just look a lot more realistic and just impactful and just intimidating, which is what you want for Fallout New Vegas. You want this place to be kind of, very gritty and realistic. So these textures do add a lot. But the most important thing is the gameplay changes, like I said. So as you can see, there's a lot of detail to the textures and stuff. I've added this Legionnaire as a companion, but I've got 1, 2, 3. At the moment, I've got 4 companions, which is pretty cool. This is an example of the gameplay changes I was talking about. So when you actually wear a helmet now, like a, power armor, it will actually change the HUD, change how you view the world, which I think is pretty cool. It just adds a lot more immersion to the game. So I haven't tried to mod it so much that it doesn't represent Fallout New Vegas anymore, because I love the identity of Fallout New Vegas. I've basically added mods to highlight it, to make it look more immersive, to add gameplay features to make the combat more immersive, and to make the landscape and graphics more immersive, and change the lighting system with ENBs, which just make the game look a lot better in my opinion. And here we can see the strip in all of its beautiful next-gen glory. I think my PC might explode. But there you have it. That's Fallout New Vegas in all of its beautiful glory. The graphical overhaul. I think this looks absolutely amazing with this ENB, with all the textures and the gameplay changes that I talked about, the new creatures added, the mods adding new enemies and physics to the combat system and stuff like that. Yeah, those are the Fallout New Vegas mods in 2023 that I recommend you download. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would highly appreciate it if you did subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Have a great day, and stay moist, and get ready for nuclear fallout. I'll see you next time. Peace out.